Welcome to episode 3.5 of the South Stands Denver Sports Minute. For the Stanley Cup Finals on television, the ratings sucked elephant balls. So where did the NHL go wrong in airing that championship game on television? For starters, there is one group of franchises that don't have much of a high profile. The LA Kings are one of those interest-lacking franchises. There is a second group, however, with a much higher profile. The Boston Bruins, the Philly Flyers, the Detroit Red Wings, the Pittsburgh Penguins, and Canada's very own Vancouver Canucks. Secondly, instead of air the championship series on the NBC network and its affiliate KUSA here in Denver, the brass at NBC chose to air the Stanley Cup Finals on the brand new NBC Sports Network. The reason being is that NBC wants to compete with the mother of all cable sports channels, ESPN. Peter Burns is the host of a morning show on AM 1510 KCKK, the radio division of the Mile High Sports magazine. When it comes to viewership being run over and crushed by a big-ass Zamboni, Peter Burns is siding with me 100%.
I think that's what it is. I think it's having Los Angeles in there because there's just not enough history behind it. Just no difference if it was, like the Thunder. It'll be interesting to see the Thunder and how many people watch the NBA Finals. I think the Thunder is a little bit more exciting team right now. But had it been the Spurs, nobody would have cared about it. Obviously, a couple of days ago, even in Los Angeles, they aired the Kings game on NBC Sports rather than the NBC affiliate, which not many people have NBC Sports. And I understand it's a way that they're trying to launch this new channel, but it's kind of the chicken or the egg. Do you have the viewers and then you force those people to watch hockey, or is it, hey, listen, you take all of those viewers that love hockey and put them on a new station? So that's part of the issue.
For bringing in more fans and viewers in the future, how can the NHL recover from a Zamboni-crushing defeat? Two people on Twitter gave me two great suggestions. Ryan Bolding's handle, AvsGuildRyan, suggested airing ads on other sports and not make it into another Super Bowl commercial. James Hernandez's handle, 5280 Shirt Shop, suggested adding fires and explosions. To top it all off, sexy ice dancers. What does Peter Burns have to say about those suggestions to boost up a fan base, starting with the Colorado Avalanche?
So I think it's the idea, it goes back to the idea of like how you market the Broncos. Okay, so everyone marketed the Broncos as Tim Tebow, and that's more of the fireworks and ice dancers that you're talking about. Or do you market the Broncos with substance? And true Bronco fans think it's substance now with Peyton Manning, and they didn't like the fireworks and dancers of Tim Tebow. So I think, you're going to have to just go to the loyal fans. I mean, people get upset about soccer because when they put soccer on television now, they dumb it down, and true soccer fans are sitting there going, this is not, this is stupid. We want to see it real. We don't want it spoon-fed. So I think you can't dumb it down. You got to continue to hope that the product gets better, but it'd be tough. I like those suggestions. Those are good guys, but I think that you need to celebrate the product, and that'll eventually win out.
Hernandez and Bolding gave me great suggestions on how to market the NHL from the next season forward. Now, it's Peter Burns' turn.
I think you have to kind of create the rivalries and show the hatred. People love a good versus evil. People love the idea of hey, there's a bad guy and there's a good guy. There's a hero and there's a villain. So I think that if NHL can do that, much like it might be the Thunder and Heat in the NBA Finals, that there's going to be a good team that people go pull for, and there's going to be a bad team. That's a storyline. Right. Yeah, they're doing it, and they've done a good job. Like NHL has done some of the. I think it was HBO. They did 24/7 on following some of the teams. So I think that NHL has to give more behind-the-scenes access to really showcase their product, because the NFL is always going to be good. People like baseball for the pastime it is, and even NBA is always going to have that fan base. But NHL needs to give a lot of like extra access behind the scenes, and that's why people are going to get interested in it.
Finally in this episode, Colin Daniels of the South Stands Denver Fancast asked Peter Burns why sports radio personalities are not talking about the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, we struggle with it. We have to it's kind of like, you know, do you play the hits? You know, I mean, for listeners, we want to talk about what everyone is talking about. So let's say I go to a sports bar and I see 100 people. How many of them are going to be talking about the Broncos or LeBron James? Probably a good amount of them. How many are going to be talking about NHL? Maybe 3. So if I'm trying to have the biggest show, am I going to do my show for 3 people, or am I going to do my show for 75 people that are in that sports bar? So, you know, it all ties down to, you know, all comes down to money, because the more listeners that you have or more viewers that you have on television, the more you can sell your advertising for. So I'd love to talk about hockey. I think it's interesting, but it's tough to do it when there's Game 7 or Game 6 and LeBron James puts up big games like that. So.
Air the NHL and the Stanley Cup Finals on the broadcast networks. Throw in some fires and explosions, add some sexy ice dancers, and create a rivalry just like the NFL. Not just market players. Those are how the league should get people talking at sports bars from next season forward. This has been episode 3.5 of the South Stands Denver Sports Minute. I'm Steve